Hello and welcome back to the TTP Field Manual podcast. Today we are doing a hobby journal, casually laid back discussion about all the things we've been getting up to in and around the hobby. With me is Jonny, with me is Zakky. How are you, lads?
Good, thanks.
Oh, doing pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good, mate. It's pretty good. Can you believe, boys? Already May. We last did one of these in March.
No,
Holy.
Holy.
time has been flying.
Time has been flying in a not particularly productive feeling kind of way.
I don't know. I've been pretty flat out, like a cane toad on a road.
Like, okay. I've been bouncing all over the place like a cane toad that's been golf clubbed onto a roof.
Ooh, damn.
Oh,
we live in a wild place.
Get out the cricket bats.
the amount of things I've said to family members that are not Australian that just seem like an everyday occurrence, or, you know, things you grow up with, they kind of look at me like, are you okay?
You guys do what?
The answer is no.
I had to do a first aid course recently for my work. Like a quarter of the whole first aid component was on envenomation. And my European partner, she's like, why?
Because snakes are our biggest problem.
Like what do you mean why? I saw a brown tree snake crossing the road the other night. The neighborhood birds were trying to shoo it away. And then I proceeded to explain that night tigers, yes, we call a brown tree snake night tigers for some reason, aren't even that bad. And she's like, bad for a snake?
Sure.
For a snake, sure. Compared to the other snakes, no. But anyway, yeah, today's hobby journal number 3. We've been doing these bi-monthly little ways to touch base with what we've been up to, away from our usual episodes, which are definitely 1 or 2 topics at a time. Today's flow is going to be a brief little recap of the pod and what you can expect in the near future. We're going to follow that up with one of our favorite segments, which we'll get to. Following that will be general discussions, probably around like 11th edition, what we kind of want to see them release across the edition, what they may release, comparing it to, say, 10th edition, blah, blah, blah. Following that will probably be the breadth of the episode with a beyond the hobby, the video games, the books, the films, all that kind of stuff that we've been enjoying. And if the episode is looking a little short, we might do another chit-chat episode. Cool, right?
Nice.
Very, very cool.
Very cool. Did I practice that one in the mirror? No.
Sure, Josh.
We've done it enough. You don't need to, right? You practiced it into the mic.
When was the last episode? Our 74th episode, that's crazy, was our last hobby journal. Since then, we have had an Adepticon reveal show, which was like more than 2 months ago now.
Holy.
Oh, no, it was like a month and a half.
Surely there's another one coming up sometime soon.
Wasn't the last hobby update recorded well before it was released?
It was. So
Don't say that out loud.
I think we recorded it.
Oh,
at the-
my bad. Cut it, fix it in post.
I think we recorded it a little over 2 months ago, but then I released it at like the end of March. But yeah, since then,
My
we've
bad.
pretty much just covered all the bloody supplements they've been putting out. 500 Worlds, Maelstrom, Eye of Terror. We stopped for a brief holiday to Hive Hell's Reach, Jonny and I.
Yep.
Weirdly enough, that's it. Just those supplements. They've been keeping us busy.
Man, tell me about it. It feels like they're very constantly revealing stuff at the moment still for the next edition.
What was I saying to you at like the very beginning of the year, Jonny? I can't do multiple codex reviews in a row again. It takes too much time editing.
And then what did they do? Release like 4 books in the span of 2 months?
And not even like just with one topic each. They got a lore, they got detachments, they got a game mode. I had to push the game mode stuff to later.
Yeah, it's been hectic.
But this is being recorded just after the Eye of Terror, the Iron Warrior ones got sort of revealed or released to the world, our thoughts on it. Following that, we're going to be releasing another one for the Armageddon Yarrick stuff. Oh my God, Jonny, at the end of that episode, do you remember when I was like, we're done, finally?
We're not done.
maybe 2 days after it recorded, they're like, here's the Red Terror date. She like, fuck.
At least it's a kill team release. It's fine. We can back off.
I know, but I just thought it was so humorous how I was like, we're done. That's it. That's 10th edition.
Finally over.
And they're like, here's Kill Team.
Joke's on you.
But yeah, besides the Armageddon one, we'll have this, of course. We'll have a couple of story time things going over the Eye of Terror, going over Armageddon Yarrick. There's a couple of episodes in the tank that are a little bit different to those that, if there is time, we will do before we get into a bit of a sort of a new edition chit-chat, breaking down rules, reassessing the factions from a beginner standpoint, going over all the various ways to play Warhammer. That's about it, actually.
New edition Who Dis.
You and I trying to plan out June and July, realizing that each topic needed to become like 2 or 3 parts.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they go back to what we did at the start of this podcast, which was theoretically like the start of the edition for us, you'll get a good idea of what might be coming up.
Yes, and then I could potentially relieve myself of the nightmare that was my editing of those episodes when we do them again.
Finally update our rankings, and you can never look at them again.
Just unlist those first 4 episodes. So go listen to them and see how far we've come.
I don't think I want to.
No, I don't think you do. I don't. When I got a new editing program, I downloaded the old files back to rejig them a bit, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And I listened to like 5 minutes. I was like, I can't do it. The secondhand cringe.
Terrifying if you can't do it.
I just spend so long with it. It's like a baby, you know? You make peace with it and then you move on. I don't want to go back. Moving on from that little recap and looking forward, boys, get your sad trombone noises ready.
Womp womp.
How's your hobby?
Hobby? You mean the end of edition blues?
Tell me about that, Johnny. You having some end of edition blues?
Oh, I'm in the middle of, well, towards the end part of trying to move house at the moment and downsizing. So I don't really have the room to hobby at the moment as I start to pack everything up. So for me, hobbying hasn't been the biggest focus with Warhammer 40k. I just don't have the energy or space at the moment to do anything. So for me, a lot of my hobby focus has been around alternate hobbies, as well as like obviously book club and recording and seeing all this cool stuff that they keep dropping. I still look at 40k content every single day.
Would you say that hobbying is a magical thing, Johnny?
It is a magical thing. You don't have to do it every day, and you don't have to feel bad about skipping a day.
No, absolutely not. It's not necessarily a daily habit if it's feeling like chores, you know?
Exactly.
Like if it brings you joy and you want to do it and you don't feel forced or anything to do it, then it's real good. If you start to treat it like work or like I have to do it, then you're just going to burn yourself out on it. So you may as well take that break, spend a little bit of time away from it, have fun playing Slay the Spire or Magic the Gathering.
Or the Spell Brigade.
Yeah, you've been pumping that.
It's just a cute little game I can play between games. I'm waiting on a release at the moment, so when that comes out in approximately 4 to 5 days, we'll swap games.
So you got a bit of end of edition blues, but it's just by sort of lifestyle change. I'm also having a little bit of end of edition blues. Not that I'm down or anything. I just feel like I've had my fill.
Oh, yeah.
Of the Warhammer. Like, as I've said before, myself, I'm the one who edits the podcast, and some of these episodes are chonk, and that takes up sometimes, like this week, I spent about 2.5 evenings just editing a single episode.
Damn, son.
Which I don't mind. I don't mind doing it, really. It's fun in a way. But it obviously takes time away. So things like the alternative things that you can just sort of stuff in, like you and I have been playing Magic the Gathering with a couple of our friends of an evening every week or two. That's different. You can leave the house, go do it. I've been reading a lot more books at the nighttime just to like get away from the screens and the technology. And that's been a bit of fun. We played so much 10th edition, and really this is our first like proper edition. I played it so much.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in the last year. Since our last hobby journal, I think I played 3 games total of 40k.
And they were all with Zakky.
2 with you, Zach. No, two with Zach. Your Chaos Knights versus for the majority of the Eldari Force Harlequins.
Oh, yes.
That was like the day after we recorded the last one, or the day of.
Wow, that feels like so long ago. I think that was like the last game I really played.
I think it might have been. But Zach, you mentioned to me in one of our matches that you probably played maybe 40 to 50 games of 40k in the past year alone, and this was like your first year in the hobby.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, because we were playing them weekly for a good while, and there were some weeks where I even played like 2 a week.
Damn.
And so that's like an estimate. Yeah, probably around the 40 mark or so. Crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty cooked.
It's pretty full on.
It's pretty cooked. And you guys love playing, I would say maybe a little bit more than I like playing. And so I'm always the one who's like putting their hand up to like sit out and observe or build some models or something in the background if we are an odd number. And I feel like I've played like heaps of games as well.
Oh,
so
same.
It's pretty crazy.
For a while there, I was smashing out games too, so I definitely understand that.
But how are you feeling come end of edition, Zakky? Are you also having a little bit of end of edition blues?
Yeah.
What's your feel? What's your vibe?
I mean, work's been busy, like you guys, busy with other stuff in life. And so I just haven't been as motivated to play. I guess maybe it was end of edition blues. I didn't particularly quite put my finger on it. I suppose it's like this feeling of, well, there's a whole new rule set coming out soon, so I can't really be bothered to do much.
Yeah.
Even though I could be doing stuff. But yeah, excited to see the new edition, but at the moment, not as hot, which is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
As Jonny said earlier, we're always looking at stuff. It's so cool to see all the various articles and news stuff. The lead up to their Armageddon unboxing video, like that was fun. Every other day there was a little article about all the new rules. At present, they're doing faction foci again, showing off a couple of new detachment pieces, which has got me pretty jazzed with the way they are doing detachments by doing it into sort of a point buy mechanic. If your detachment's really broad in its scope, it costs more points. If it's more narrow, it costs less points. You don't have to suffer if you want to do a whole army of Imperial Guard Ogrins and Ratlings because they're relatively niche and you can't actually bring that many units of them anyway. So I imagine that detachment's cheap, but then you could pair it with like a tank or there's like, I really like that sort of slotting in what you actually have and being a little bit more thematic about it. So like that combined with how your army is able to do a slightly different objective to your opponent, like that is really getting me excited in a way that's making me a little colder still on 10th edition. Not that I dislike it, but we played it. I've seen how it goes. I played all my armies now a few times. I've even forced myself to play with my Eldari and I'm enjoying it. Harlequins are bloody scary, it turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I will be going away from the home for a few weeks for the majority of June. And so I really only have a couple more weekends to squeeze in 10th edition games before I come back to there being a brand new edition of rules. And that's exciting. I'm keen for that next thing.
That's terrifying that you're leaving us with absolutely no notice.
Is it?
You're going?
How dare you?
What?
Didn't you get my email?
No.
You forgot to hit send.
Must be sitting in drafts.
I send it to myself.
A bugger.
Bugger.
Josh is leaving the country again.
Whoops.
How rude.
Awful of me. But there are things that I definitely wanted to have done in this sort of window of time. Mainly just paint up a couple of smaller groups. I wanted to paint my Sigmar Spearhead, finally. Finish building my Harlequins. Maybe paint my Sisters Kill Team. That was all I really tried to do or wanted to set out and do, but that obviously didn't happen.
Yep.
But before we hop on to another topic, I have a loaded question. Actually, I have 2 loaded questions.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
1, how hot are we on the new Armageddon box? And 2, new edition, new army?
No and yes.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Okay. Wait, so you're not hot on the box?
No.
Okay.
There's not a single Chaos model in the whole box.
True that.
Those orcs are pretty chaotic.
True that.
No, I like the models that are coming out, but like there's no draw to the box for me, is what I should say.
I would say I'm the exact same. They look cool, but yeah, not really anything for me in the box unless I was to maybe pick up more Space Marines, which I won't. And yeah.
Which you won't. You say that now.
I've got a 2K list. We'll see how that
two years
transpires.
time, they'll be like, here's a new Salamanders supplement. We got like 3 new units to Salamanders, and Zach's gonna be like, oh no.
Oh yes, I'll be taking those Eradicators with heavy bolters. Hell yeah.
That land speeder had a flamer or a melter or something on it.
Oh, did it? Oh.
Yeah.
Got his attention.
Oh. And yeah, I'll probably my new army will probably be Corsairs, so which I already have like half of an army there. So yeah.
Oh la la.
Oh la la. What about you, Josh?
I think I'm not blown away by the Armageddon box, but I'm not disappointed either. I think if you would keep trying to outdo every launch box, you're going to just create like too high of an expectation, and then at some point, like, what's the cost of the box going to be to accommodate how much stuff is in it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think Space Marines are suffering from the curse of having had a lot of models and pretty much all the gaps in their history of units pretty much filled or mostly filled by now with Indominus and Leviathan and all the other bits and pieces that have come out in amongst it all, like Terminators, special captains and the like. I'm not disappointed with the Space Marine offering. I like characters. I like that characters in the new edition will be able to like co-lead units if there are supports, and like having an ancient and probably the librarian combining with other units is kind of cool. The orcs, I like the orcs. I like that they're giving them love and again more characters. But I'm personally, like you both, not too hot on the models. But there's still a part of me that really wants the box, depending on the price. If it's just not a reasonable price to me, I probably will skip. But there's just that excitement of getting the launch box, you know? Like
Getting your hands on that book.
Yeah, it's adult money for the inner child, you know? Inner child Joshy would pore over these things, scrub articles, watch videos, and just think, one day I'll be able to get all these things for myself. Yeah, as Jonny just pointed out, the book, it's actually the non-models in the box set that I'm more interested in. The like hardcover, I forget what it's called, but it's like their next supplement thing. They have the core rules in a soft cover book, which is chef's kiss. We need that. My Leviathan hardcover rulebook that started to separate from the spine after a few months, that sucked. They got a couple of decks of cards for missions and campaigns. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm really there for that. I really want to play around with those new books and cards. So we'll have to see. And then for new army, no.
No new army?
No.
Well,
okay.
I'm glad we disagreed there and you said no to the new army, whereas I was like, sure.
I know. I was gonna take the camera away from me and my 4 to 5 armies and ask, what's your next one?
Oh, me and my 4 to 5 armies haven't decided yet.
On who's joining the ranks?
Yeah, that's it.
Is it Imperial Knights?
No. No.
I bet you it is.
It's not.
Oh, actually, no.
It totally could be.
You've got Tau up on the horizon.
Yeah, but I need an army that I can, put in armies on parade, right?
Oh, okay, fair.
120 guardsmen.
No, don't tempt me with guardsmen, all right? Because it's going to be 3 Baneblades.
Steel hammer, Jonny.
And I don't think anyone wants to fight against 3 Baneblades.
I put my Chaos Knights on the shelf because you guys were complaining, so I brought 3 Baneblades.
I just like big butts, all right?
Fair enough.
It's fair.
What are you thinking then, Jonny? White scars?
No, I just told you I'm thinking 3 Baneblades.
Are you actually proper considering it?
I'm actually proper considering it.
Well. When we first started this podcast, you were not a Guard fan.
And as you can tell, I'm still not. I'm putting 750 points in 3 tanks.
Just like the big tanks. Just like those monstrous size tanks.
Yeah, I've always had a soft spot for Baneblades. They're the craziest looking modern infantry tank in their lineup. Like, there's just so many guns, it's not natural.
And they got some pretty cool rule updates as well.
Yeah, that new detachment looks kind of fun. I like the idea of a Baneblade commander.
After our Armageddon recording session, Zach asks, "Oh, how was your recording session?" And I said, "It's pretty much half of the length. It's just Jonny and I gushing about Baneblades. We go deep on the Baneblades, but yeah,
We sure do.
that's cool. I have too many models still. I still got my Iron Hands Space Marine project to deal with. Got to finish my Harlequins. Got to paint my sisters. See what happens with the rest of my models."
That's totally fair.
Oh dear, what have I done to myself? Before we move along into a discussion point, because I know Zach's a little bit strapped for time this morning, Zach, do you want to tell us your Beyond hobby? What games, films, books, etc. have you been occupying your time with?
So I've been playing a fair bit of Slay the Spire 2. That game rocks, and Jonny, you should get on it ASAP. Speaking of games to play.
It actually is up your alley, John. I played it with Zach and thought, this is a John game.
It definitely is, and I don't understand why I never picked it up. And now I feel like I'm too late to the party.
No, it's so easy to pick up.
It's not even out.
Early access.
Oh, it's in early access. That's why I didn't pick it up. I was like, I'll just let it
What
cook.
do you mean? How many early access titles do you pick up? Come on.
I have to be very specific when it comes to early access. I'm like, do I think this will be better if I let it cook? And I feel like Slay the Spire will be better if I let it cook.
I think it's pretty good already.
I've heard as much, but I've also seen how easy it is to become broken.
You want some shivs? Shivs and poison?
Slay the Spire has always been like that, though, I think. Like, even the first game. You know, any games like that, if you have good enough people, people will break the game. And
There's always a way, right?
good luck doing it, though.
It's a roguelike
no.
at the end of the day.
It's not something
You're gonna
I
get
will do.
broken.
But yeah, no, I've been playing a bunch of Slay the Spire.
Just get Risk of Rain 2 and we'll play that.
Yeah. I'll. Is it good?
I fucking love that game.
Okay, I might.
I really enjoy that game.
I do think I can see you playing that, Zach. I can see you doing a bit of Risk of Rain.
Risk of Rain 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Risk of Rain
I might
1
give it a
was
try.
a side scroller.
Oh,
Oh, what?
Yeah, Risk of Rain 2 is a 3D like roguelite shooter.
Okay. I might wishlist it and have a look at it a bit later. I don't think I've seen any new movies, which is crazy, but there just hasn't been anything coming out that has been.
well, you say that, but I think since we did one of these, you and I have seen
actually, yes.
both Hail Mary.
And the drama.
If we didn't talk about that in the last one, I can't remember. Yeah, Hail Mary and the drama. We've seen those two.
Both look great.
Both were pretty good. I liked it a lot. Hail Mary was an example of trailer didn't hook me, but movie did. Sometimes you watch a trailer, you think, wow, this is going to be great. And then you watch the movie, you're like,
Yep.
the reverse happened. I thought I was a bit, on the trailer. Watched the movie, loved it so much, didn't even realize it was almost 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Oh, that's always a nice feeling.
Yeah, it definitely went by quick. Went by very quick.
And then when we watched the drama, it was just ratcheting tension the whole way, not to spoil what the drama is. But then the last 20, 30 minutes, I just had Zach sitting next to me with your head in your hands, cringing from the embarrassment of the drama.
I got very physical. There was a lot of me throwing my hands about as stuff was happening. It was awesome movie. It's like $20 on the video on demand. Meanwhile, Begonia is like $1.
Well, watch Begonia.
Yeah, I know.
Watch Begonia.
It's coming to free. It's coming to Netflix for free.
Oh.
Later this month. So I will be.
Nice.
Love Begonia. John, you should watch Begonia. It's a trip.
I will be strapping my parents into chairs and forcing them to watch it.
That sounds like the plot of Begonia.
Oh, it does too.
Oh dear. Yeah, the drama, how did I put it in a non-spoiler way? You were basically put into, it's the Robert Pattinson and Zendaya film, by the way. You were put into like the week of this young couple's wedding. And in their sort of like pre-dinner, bridegroom, their maid of honor, best man, they're all having this pre-dinner. And then this sort of game comes around. It's like, what's the worst thing you've ever done? And then obviously one of them reveals something that's quite serious. And then the whole film is the other person in the couple trying to reconcile this information.
The drama.
Trying to mentally comprehend the person that they thought they knew with the person that just said what they said they did or were going to do, whatever it was. And then the person just unravels over the film. It's a lot of like pressure from the week of the wedding combined with a lot of miscommunication, not very well understanding one another. But then by like that last third of the movie, that unraveling just keeps making every situation they're in worse, and you just can't help but just recoil in your seat from how like much you're going, no, shut up, don't do it, don't say it. Ah!
Yeah, it's really good if you love that kind of stuff.
Ratcheting tension the whole movie.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, my review of Hail Mary is really good sci-fi.
Nice.
It was that movie was terrific.
Big fan of it. Is there anything else that you've been up to, Zach?
No, that's what I was going to say. But other than that, not a whole lot. I made up some basing mixture for my salamanders and then proceeded to drop the first one into the tub. And it's like wall bonding stuff and Elmer's glue and this like pebble mixture.
It looked like you dropped it into chia seed pudding.
It legitimately, because I've gone with like a black pebble, which is going to get sprayed over anyway, just due to availability. Dude, we went to Bunnings, all the bags of sand were ripped open. So, bro, what are you doing? So anyway, I digress.
So you just pocket a handful, right?
Man, life's a beach, isn't it?
That's dreadful. Just put like sand in the bottom of my shoes and walk out with it.
No, just in your pockets.
Yeah, they're both terrible. But yeah, no, it does look like chia seed pudding. And so I just grabbed out the hose and hosed him off, which fortunately it all came off.
Jeez whiz.
But yeah.
Well, you're trying something new, and that's all we can ask is try.
Thanks.
Mate, you should have just left it. It would have looked like he had fallen over in the mud at the wharfront.
Nah.
He would have blended right in.
No, it looked terrible. I'll just dip all my bottles in it.
He wouldn't look like a space marine, Emperor's Angels.
As if they don't get dirty in the mud.
Horse candles?
I love that any grimdark painting tutorial. Oh, horse candles. I love that all grimdark paint tutorials. It's just like, yep, paint it like normal. Now nuke it with streaking grime and known oil and then sponge dirt on it. There you go. It's grimdark.
Yep. Hey, it works.
True.
It works. Yeah.
Can't argue with the result.
Nope. But then you need to basically hold it up to the shining light of the Emperor to actually see any details because you made it so dark.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have to head off, Zach?
I do.
All right.
So you guys have a
Been nice.
It's been nice chatting.
fun episode. Yeah, it's been nice. Shout out to all the MILFs. Happy Mother's Day. And with that,
Holy.
Holy. Wild for that, Zach.
have a good recording.
Jesus.
Sure.
Why do we hire that guy?
Crazy. I don't know.
He had a good interview.
He had a good Did you interview him?
It did. There's a whole episode where I technically interviewed a Warhammer newcomer.
Oh, yeah, true. You did. And then hired him after that.
We're a non-for-profit organization here, apparently.
What we're saying is we're not paying him.
Are you getting paid?
I don't know, am I?
Well, I'm not.
I haven't got a paycheck yet. You're getting the opposite of a paycheck, right?
I'm doing this for extra credit. But hey, if you want to help us grow the podcast,
Please.
share this with a mate. Share the episode. Rate it on all the platforms that you are observing this upon, whether that's YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Apple Podcasts has been popping off, and Apple Podcasts loves podcasts with reviews. So there you go. Give it a bump, please. In the description of all these episodes, there's a link to our little Discord community. It's baby small, but it's intimate,
If we get bigger, we might be able to talk to people about sponsorship. If we do that,
Whoa.
we'll be able to get stuff.
And we'll be able to do more.
more.
And I can pay someone to edit this for me, which means I can have more time to hobby, which means I can record a hobby journal with actual substance.
Wouldn't that be great?
I'm just being dry humored there. It's all good. Oh, Johnny, should we hop into a discussion point now that we've gotten through Zach's backlog?
Sure.
Sure.
What's our discussion point for today?
Well, I had two in mind. The first one that I thought more strongly about was a sort of comparison, if you will, to what came out in 10th edition. Sort of compare it a little bit, if we would like, to something I actually considered would be coming out. Like, before we did the podcast, I had a Theory Craft episode to myself. Not an episode, a journal entry. I was like, what are they going to release? What would I like to see? But then, of course, we could use all of that to discuss what they might end up doing with models and factions within 11th edition and what we would like to see.
Ooh, I want to see a Chaos Knights model.
Just one.
It'd be more than I got last edition.
That is true. You bloody upgrade sprue.
You mean 2 new weapons was all we got?
So, what kind of release? Oh, not what kind of release. What did bloody release throughout 10th edition?
A lot.
Give or take. I tried my best to include everything, but 2023, start of 10th edition, middle of the year, we got the Leviathan box set, which also had further models released later for both Space Marines and Tyranids. That humongous release waves, biggest of the whole edition. End of the year, Necrons and AdMech both received characters. If they're not getting a release wave, they'll get a character, usually. In 2024, it was also Age of Sigmar's 4th edition box, so 40k had a little less coming out, but nonetheless, CSM had some characters. Dark Angels had a Deathwing release wave, which was only a year after Azrael and the Lion got models. But Tau, they had that entire Kroot release wave. Blood Angels had a small release wave, somewhat centered around a couple of upgrade sprues and some characters. And then Orcs, Custodians, Sisters of Battle, Genestealer Cults, and funnily enough, Imperial Agents all just received a character or two. Wow. 2025, which is when we really kicked into gear, was also Horus Heresy's 3rd edition, which I don't think really mattered too much with 40k. We had about 6-ish release waves, and they were really at the start of the year too. Guard had the whole Krieg release wave, Emperor's Children launched as a whole faction, Eldari had the Aspect Warriors, Space Wolves had the mother of all release waves. I think Space Wolves' popularity shot through the absolute roof. Leagues of Votann had a release wave. At the very end of the year, Space Marine compliant chapters had some characters, with Ultramarines getting a little bit more than everyone else, of course. And then Death Guard, World Eaters, Thousand Suns had characters. Imperial Knights, Chaos Knights, Grey Knights had upgrade sprues. And then Black Templars and Drukhari did receive a little sprinkling of stuff. Lady Malice, my beloved. And then, well, you all bloody know what's been coming out in this year, don't you?
Yeah, mate, it's been crazy.
So that was 10th edition in a nutshell. Insane.
That was a quick nutshell. Good job.
Thank you. I wrote it down. So 10th edition had effectively 11 major release waves, give or take, with 4 of them being Space Marine supplements, 1 being the generic Space Marine release wave at the beginning. That's cooked. I say the 4 Space Marines, one of them I think I was counting as Emperor's Children, by the way. The other being like Ultramarines and stuff. Anyway, so that's quite a lot of stuff, Johnny.
It is a lot of stuff. Like, it's kind of crazy just how much stuff they released.
It was, it won't stop coming and it just keeps coming.
Oh, yeah.
So I wrote in my own little journal about a year into the edition what I sort of headcanoned, if you will, a little bit of a release calendar for 40k. Didn't really go the way I planned it, but I just want to be neat for you to hear what I thought. So when I wrote it, we had Leviathan out already. Pariah Nexus had just sort of came out. We were looking to the future with the Sisters and the Genestealer cults. And obviously the first part of this is going to sound very familiar, but I basically organized it all around, you wouldn't believe this, every 6 months there being a Crusade supplement that sort of focused around the factions getting love within that 6-month window. Can you imagine?
I sure can't imagine.
Sure cannot. So Leviathan obviously was Space Marines, Tyranids, and featuring a Custodian. That's what I thought. Pariah Nexus featuring AdMech.
Featuring a Custodian.
It's lore accurate. Pariah Nexus featuring AdMech, Necrons, and then sort of a CSM versus Dark Angels thing would have been cool for marketing, but they didn't. And then I thought, what would be the next sort of Crusade thing I'd like to see? I thought about the Ophelian War, a concept where Genestealer cults invaded the holy sanctum worlds of the actual Sororitas, this whole thing, their whole government body. Imagine if that world had a Genestealer cult infestation and make that like a Crusade thing or a new war front to focus on. I thought this would be a wonderful time to bring about the Imperial agents and a Death Watch with a range update. You could easily squeeze Black Templars into this because they're besties with the sisters, it feels like. And then why not? Stuff Imperial Chaos Knights 1v1 box in to this sort of 6-month period. You with me so far?
Knights, that'll never happen.
Yeah, right. You with me so far? You see the vision?
I do see the vision.
My next idea was something that I called Soulfire, a concept wherein the Thousand Suns and the Eldari Seers have a sort of galactic-wide psychic duel that keeps affecting various things. And this would be a great way to focus around both Thousand Suns and Eldari getting range updates. Funnily enough, I did specify Eldari get aspects and Thousand Suns get automata.
Just bring back some of the Warhammer 30k stuff, right?
Yeah, why not? Do that. As well, I thought it'd be quite fun if they added a Drakari character and a Space Wolf character as a little teaser of something to come a bit later. I thought they could do Yuri and Rakath for the Drakari, and I mean, one of the Space Wolf characters, it didn't really matter. But just as a little teaser of what's to come later, because bloody hell, I was hedging my bets that they'll go nutso and do a Drakari versus Space Wolves focused launch box for 11th, or like soon into the edition. But nope, Space Wolves jumped the gun there.
Yeah, they did.
I thought if not, earlier, doing a Chalneth Crusade setting would have been fun because you could have tied it into Kill Team and use Kill Team to boost a couple of the factions within that setting. Here I put Tau versus Imperial Guard having range updates. Funnily enough, I did say Kroot and Krieg, so I'm going to take points for that.
Good job.
Thank you. I thought it'd be quite funny to see Orcs go up against Death Guard, but they would have just received characters. Points for me. And then I said here, just chuck in Votan in the side, but give them a range release. Again, points for me.
Man, you're doing well so far.
Yeah, and then I start to derail in the last little thing, or the last couple of things. My last thing I thought would be the Palisade of Pain, where the Emperor's children are brought onto the scene. At this point, we knew Emperor's children were coming, just not in the way. I didn't know how they would come about. But I put them at the end of the edition as like end of edition baddies. Something happens, and the Palace of Slaanesh is, accessible, right? It's somewhere in real space, and it's causing a lot of problems with the nearby environment. I thought, you know what? This would be a perfect opportunity for the Ynnari to get a range release. Womp womp. Oh dear. That was a big L for me, but that was just hopium. And then I thought, wouldn't it be funny if World Eaters went up in a box set battle against Blood Angels and both of them had a range release or range update?
That would be a pretty cool box.
Poor World Eaters.
Right.
Poor World Eaters and poor Ynnari. But then I decided to have a little think about what could be like an end of edition thing. And like Arcs of Omen, I had this concept in mind that I call Darker Night. So you know how they always refer to the old days as Dark Night? Darker Night.
Darker Night.
Where stuff keeps happening. You got the Soulfire, the Slaanesh thing. The galaxy's more fractured than ever. Things are doing a sort of a fragmentation across the galaxy. Everything's shifting. And I thought I was inspired by Idols of Torment, where the battlefield can change mid-game. That was my idea. It was 40k, but the terrain changes sort of randomly. It affects the battlefield mid-mission. That was what I was thinking. And then the two concepts I would have liked to have seen is a Dark Mechanicus versus a Flayed Ones sort of release. As well,
Yeah.
wait for this, a Harlequins release going up against Huron Blackheart and Red Corsairs.
Nice.
And then a few random characters if they went that direction, but that was just kind of who needs a model. And that was my 2 to 3 years ago theory craft for a release window of 40k. What do you think?
I think you had some very cool ideas, and you weren't terribly far off on some of them.
I agree, but now it begs the question, Johnny. What comes next? What do you think they're going to focus on next?
I have a feeling they're going to focus on Armageddon next.
Okay, wise guy. What do you feel like is going to come about after the case?
After? I know what I want to see, but I know that I've got bad chances of getting what I want.
Yeah.
Which makes things a little awkward. But what I want to see is Perturabo come out with his galaxy-spanning bloody fort and lay siege to Terra. I'd love to see even if it's not him, like something happen on Terra as like a big narrative push. I think that could be really fun. Okay.
So if we go off of this sort of 10 to 11 major release waves, let's think we got the generic Space Marines, Orcs, those two are guaranteed. You would like to see more Iron Warriors with Perturabo. So that's 3. What else do you think may come out? I have a few, but what do you think?
Well, my idea in mind is that, and I have mentioned this before here, I believe, is if one of those release waves is Iron Warriors versus Perturabo versus Dawn, as he would have to come back to defend his hometown.
Yep. Imperial Fist, Dawn.
I think that could be a really interesting way to introduce a couple of new Primarchs to the game. And frankly, the good guys need another Primarch. They're falling behind here.
And also, frankly, that is an opportunity within all the Space Marine factions by now, considering how much was done already.
Yeah, and they've kind of set up for that already, so it would make sense. On top of that, I would... it's a hard thing, because the games I want to play are all the small games.
Yeah, but...
I would like to see some more resurgence of the Arcs of Omen. Maybe something along those lines. That would be pretty cool. I think that they're pretty fascinating, and they're definitely out there. On top of that, I believe they would probably end up looking... I don't know enough about what the different battlefields of the universe are at this point, other than the ones we've explored in 10th. Like, they kind of hit all the ones I knew about with Prior Nexus, Armageddon. What else is out there?
I'm trying to think about that. What have we got? We got Armageddon, as you mentioned. Going through other things, the Maelstrom's kind of there. The Eye of Terror's kind of there. R.I.P. Cadia. There's the 500 Worlds reclamation thing. There's the Prior Nexus. There's Chowneth. There's Octarius. That's out there. What else is there? There's whatever's going on in the Imperium Nihilus, which is just like backwater worlds and stuff like that. Jeez, what else is there? There's the Nachman Gauntlet. We had that one. There's whatever's going on with the Leviathan High Fleet that's extremely close to the solar system. It's actually like a little unfair to Abaddon and Perturabo how close the Tyranids have got.
Yeah, right.
But like recently active things, I think that's kind of it. There's always like little bits and pieces, but not like full supplementive stuff. Not much else.
So something new then, right?
Yeah, something new indeed. What I obviously expect is what we've already talked about, Space Marines and Orcs. Likely, if they don't just get rid of them altogether, Grey Knights are well overdue. I think Drukhari can totally receive a bunch of stuff. And unlike Grey Knights, they received new models, so I think they're bound to stick around. But Grey Knights, I'm really unsure of if they'll stick, actually.
Oh, really? Unless
they'll either do like a complete wave release, or they'll just sort of wait for people to lose interest, is sort of what I'm expecting not lose interest, but Deathwatch and Chaos Demons went to PDF support. I could see it happening with Grey Knights if they decide not to refresh them. Like, you can play them. You might get a kit here or
Grey
there.
Knights are cool. They just need to love them.
Yeah, And if they either will or they won't, and that's it.
But they could just love them.
I want them to love them, Johnny. I want my big paladin demon hunting space marines. That'd be sick as fuck, boy. Besides that, I do think we'll see the Chaos Monocult faction get some love. I think World Eaters is probably the most in need, right? World Eaters, Thousand Suns.
I think it's between World Eaters and Emperor's Children.
Yeah, I went with World Eaters because they didn't release anything really for them in all of 10th edition. But yes, Emperor's Children do need more.
What do you mean? They got more than
They got
Thousand Suns got.
They got Slaughterbound.
They got
Jackals.
the Slaughterbound. They got the Goremonger and the Jackals.
The Goremongers is what I meant, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's already like 11 models. Thousand Suns got 1.
Sekatar.
Sekatar robot. That's it.
How funny is
With
it
2
anytime
loadouts.
a Seraphon in our book club Starseers Ruin mentions Sekatar?
Oh my god. And I'm like, wait, what? Is it them? No, the other Sekatars.
Turns out Thousand Suns just worship lizards.
Turns out lizards just worship Thousand Suns.
Turns out Zinch decided lizards icky. I'm going to send them over to the fantasy realm.
It would make a lot of sense that, there's this grand plan created by the Slann. Turns out it's just Zinch playing funny buggers.
Celestial breeding pools? You mean Zinch's chamber of eggs?
Ugh.
Ugh.
Do you have to call them eggs?
Ugh.
That's icky.
So I'm going to go with World Eaters, but I would prefer Emperor's Children, to be honest.
I would prefer Thousand Suns, but
Yeah, I know. I know you would. Do we think we're going to get a new guard supplement? Yes, we are. Steel Legion. Fuck.
yeah, we're literally getting it at the start of the edition, right?
Fuck. I completely forgot about the Steel Legion. I was thinking, man, they're going to do like Catachan for realsies this time. But they've already announced that they're going to do Steel Legion. Jesus Christ, Joshua.
They sure are. Come on, Josh, get with the program.
I have so much info in my head, Johnny. So that's the likely things. Hopeful. More knights. I don't think it's likely, but I am hopeful.
What do you mean you don't think it's likely? I take offense to that.
It took them.
Just love the
It
knight.
took them to the end of edition supplements to release an actual knight's character, and it wasn't even to both of them.
It wasn't even a character.
True.
It was the Destrier.
Which is very cool. I like it a lot.
It is very cool, but I can't use it.
I'm sorry about it.
No, you're not. You don't want me to have more fuels for the fire. I understand.
Something like that. But you're putting words in my mouth. Hopeful. Imperial agents. Bloody hell.
Imperial agents need an army rule this time, please.
Yeah, they do. Imperial agents. I've talked to you before about it. Inquisitors, holy, have clearance levels depending on their rank. With
Yeah.
top of the ladder having, I think, magenta. I think it'd be kind of fun to do a little bit of like a Sigma army rule where like each battle round is a different clearance level as the engagement gets more and more serious. So why not have Imperial agents be this really mega tricksy, like the most hardcore of all the factions, where they have like a multi-staged army rule. They have multi-build kits where an Inquisitor can be built a bajillion different ways, etc. Make them real fringe, but that doesn't make much money, so who knows?
That's it, right?
Hopeful. Alpha Legion. They're like the only bloody Chaos faction that doesn't have dedicated love, right?
Sure.
I mean, everyone's an Alpha Legion, technically, because it's Alpha Legion. They're everywhere.
Or nobody. We don't really know.
There's been a lot of talk with the Alpha Legion in this end of edition campaigns. The Alpha Legion get more little bits of lore drop than anyone else. We've had some actual Alpha Legion novels. To that credit, we've also had a new Word Bearers novel. And Word Bearers have also had a lot of mention in the books. But I want Alpha Legion, damn it.
I was going to say, it's the World Bearers was definitely the other option. And a lot of people speculated we would get Word Bearers in 10th, and then it just kind of never
But
happened.
we kind of have already Word Bearer-esque units though, right? We've got the Communes and the Apostles, or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Possessed.
Like, there's definitely some potential help, but there's no detachment rule. Although with 17 new detachment rules, maybe they both get one.
I mean, they tease that Guard are doing or going to have a detachment, which is, as I said at the very start, Ogrins and Ratlings. So
Ogres, Ratlings.
Anything's possible. Yeah, have you been keeping up with the faction foci? Have you sort of scrolled through them?
I scrolled through the first couple, but I haven't looked at the Guard one.
They're not nearly as in-depth as the 10th edition ones. I made a mega thread on our community Discord that has all the articles for the new rules that I've come across.
You and your mega thread.
I love mega threads, dude. I'm amazed they merged Chaos Space Marines and Chaos Demons together in one article.
Yeah, that really makes me feel awkward about demons because we still don't know what's happening.
To be fair, they also smushed all of the Space Marine supplements into the same article as the Space Marines. It's a chunky article, but
it is chunky.
Like they're being really niche with some of these detachments, which is exciting because it's a point buy system for slices of detachment for a big army pie.
Yeah, but we still haven't seen what the points are going to look like in terms of like detachments.
Yeah, it's the big what.
Like they revealed these detachments, but they didn't tell us what they're worth. Like, is this a 1-point detachment, a 2-point detachment, or a 3-point detachment?
True, but the fact that they are pointed does suggest a nice lever of balancing. Whereas
gives some hope.
Whereas if a detachment before was just bad, you don't play it. Now it's like, well, it's good objectively, but not 2 detachment points. Doesn't get played. Next balance update. Yeah, that Ogrins thing is 1 point now, and everyone's like, oh, I can play my 18 Ogrins after all,
and not feel kneecapped for it.
But I am quite interested. Like the Fulgurous task force for Space Marines just directly buff speeders. The whole rule is speeders.
Yeah.
An enhancement is speeder.
Yep.
Stratagem is speeder. Did you catch at any point how many enhancements and stratagems a detachment will have?
I didn't, but
same.
I imagine it will come down to the points again. Like maybe a 1-point detachment has like 2 options for enhancement and 2 stratagems.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like a 2-1 will have like 3 options and 4 stratagems, and then a 3.1 will have, the full suite.
Yep. They did say in the very first article of building an army in the new edition of Warhammer 40k, with the battle size, points will offer different values of detachment points, enhancement limits, and unit limits, with battle line being double the limit. So Incursion, for example, is 1,000 points, featuring 2 detachment points, 2 enhancements, and a unit limit of 2. Strike Force at 2,000 points has detachment points of 3, enhancement limit of 4, and a unit limit of 3. And in the article, they even have this thing that says, hold on, what if the new detachment features a unit type without characters? And apparently they're going to add an upgrade tag where you can apply an enhancement thrice onto the units that it's keyworded for, but their points will go up. So let's keep going with speeders. In the speeder thing, the Fulgurous Force, one of the enhancements is for speeder units. It's considered upgrade, Bellicose Weapon Spirits. This unit can reroll damage rolls and rolls to determine the A or attacks of a weapon. So following that logic, you can suddenly have 3 really lethal speeders.
Nice.
And I think that's super neat. That's a really fun way of doing it. In our last sort of hobby journal, I requested heavily other ways to balance your game and list build. And I went with the old school way of either like Force Org or pointed war gear. I think this is just so much better than that.
Oh, he's pretty happy.
I'm pretty chuffed. I mean, as you said, we're going to see how the points go, but I'm pretty chuffed with this direction. I like it a bit more. It plays around with what we've all sort of come to think around already, which is detachments and enhancements and stuff. So, yeah. I'm also really happy that Librarius Conclave is coming back.
Yeah, it is. I do have, and it might be a good time to mention, I do have one gripe with what they've released so far.
Mm.
I don't like the formatting of the cards and stratagems and stuff.
Fair enough.
They've feels like there's a lot of extra words they've thrown in unnecessarily. I don't like the bold text keyword vibes. It just looks weird on the card. Like, it's not quite right to me.
Is that more of a font thing or a formatting thing?
Yeah, I think it's a font and format thing. Like, it's a bit of both. But yeah, I noticed that some of the keywords or like abilities that we're used to in 10th edition have been like reworded slightly, but basically they've just added more words unnecessarily.
It seems simultaneously more concise, but also more keyword bloated.
Yeah, it seems very word bloated, but yeah, definitely keyword bloated as well.
Yeah, keyword bloated, but more bite-sized. I'm looking at the Blood Angels one, the Wrath of the Doomed, fanatical celerity as a detachment rule. Pretty standard fare. There's 3 sort of dot points to mention around the Death Company. The second point's like this in bold detachment has the in bold capitalized doomed tag and cannot be taken with another bold capitalized doomed detachment. And then the next thing is restrictions, bold. Yeah. Your army can include bold capitalized Blood Angels units, blah, blah. And like, it works if you're skimming, but I have read sort of studies that suggest that doing this like rapidly shifting formatting is actually really difficult for people who are like ADHD or dyslexic because it's more to process.
It sure is.
It works for me. Like, this is how I tend to format my own notes for things, but I completely see where the issue is going to be, and it's what you mentioned. So it'll be interesting to see how it all goes. I think we're going to get a little bit of bloating as well with the actual cards in a pack. If you looked at the Armageddon launch box, like what the additional things are in the box.
Yeah.
If you go down to the Dominatus campaign deck, there's a lot happening with that format.
Yes, there sure is.
But it looks like the data cards will be the same layout, which is good. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, I suppose.
That's it, right? And that's the only downside or negative thing that I've seen in this whole thing so far. Is just the formatting looks a little weird, but I'll get used to it.
What are some of your favorite things that you've seen so far?
I honestly do like that they're adding these like keywords to the detachments. At the same time, I don't know how I feel about restricting detachments based on keywords. Like, for instance, in the Chaos Space Marines one, they revealed that there's a new Nightmare detachment, but you cannot take that and another Nightmare detachment.
Right.
I'm like, let me soup my...
Let me go all in.
Let me just have all the cool stuff. Like, let me go all in on Night Lords, right? But apparently you can't do that. And I'm like, that feels hurtful. I really like as we said, the style of having detachments be a little more open, but also very specific. Being able to find a detachment for everything in the game, pretty much. I'm a big fan of making sure that we can play with whatever models we want. I think this building is going to be a lot more fun, but it'll be interesting to see how they balance everything considering how many options there are. You're going to want your internal balance in your books to be spot on.
I'm curious how much they'll change the codices. If they're only really doing faction detachment overhauls, I'd be curious to see what does change in codices if data sheets get a pretty hefty rework as they did from index to codex with some factions. Or if they're just like, nah, it is 10.5. Same but diff.
I'm expecting same but diff until your codex is released, and that's when you'll get your datasheet overhaul.
Which, as we've established in a lot of our recent review episodes, a lot of datasheets are doing really well. So hopefully they don't feel like they have to force everything to change just for the sake of newness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there any other sort of release wave or updates to factions that you are hoping to see or expect to see? Any rules that you've seen that you want to talk a bit more about? Anything of that nature?
I'm pretty happy with a lot of what I've seen, but at the same time, I'm trying not to look too deeply into one thing until I've got the whole picture.
Yeah.
The rules that they have released look like fantastic updates to 10th edition. Being able to roll your charges before you can charge, having the protection loan op when you're in a building.
Unless you're playing that Phobos Marine detachment. Oh.
Yeah, well, of course there was going to be things that would play around, right? I really like the look of the new terrain system they're using and objective system. I think the terrain is going to be more important than ever and more versatile and differing than ever. Like, you're not stuck with L-shaped ruins all the time, although in a lot of their pictures it mostly is. But they've opened it up to interpretation a little bit. There's going to be significantly more terrain in the midboard and less in your deployments. So making sure that you're protecting your line of sight is going to be really important in this edition. And I really like that the objectives are now terrain-based. It actually feels like you're fighting over a location, not just over generic circles.
Have you looked much into the various dispositions of forces, like how they've split it into 5 for take and hold, disruption, purge, foe, priority assets, and reconnaissance as ways that your faction will actually engage with the objectives of the game?
Not too much, because I'm still waiting to see how that's going to work with the actual missions. Because from what I gather, it's if you are taking a search and destroy into a kill or kill more army, you get to pick from these objectives. But that's not what I hope they end up landing on, or that's not what I would want from it. I would prefer if your army keyword, like what you are better at, creates separate objectives to your opponent. Because I am, kill or kill more, my objective is kill or kill more. Whereas they might be trying to take and hold. And that way you're actually fighting over a different objective on the same board.
Yeah. Like we've seen a little bit on the article New 40K how your army affects your mission. It seems like each of the main force dispos will have 5 iterations of that playstyle depending on your opponent. If you look at the cards they've revealed, at the bottom it has an icon of who you're up against. And so, you're onto something with we'll have to just sort of wait and see how the differing objectives interact. But I'm pretty optimistic about this sort of playstyle. I think you can run into a bit of feels bad when all of a sudden you're forced to do a playstyle that your army's not geared around. And not that you have to do different objectives necessarily, but I think it makes it feel a little bit more involved nonetheless to have something a little more tailored to what you want to do.
Yeah, for sure. I think this edition compared to 10th, 10th edition was definitely like a competitive mind focus edition. Like everything was competitive minded. It was, we want everything to be pretty straight and standard, pretty similar, easy to set up, build a tournament, and you kind of had a lot of control over what was happening around you. I feel like in 11th edition, it's gonna suck to be hosting a tournament.
Oh yeah. It feels like the engine of the rules is really locked in and people get it. And now they're trying to go back to more of a unique
narrative focus.
Yeah, more of a unique Warhammer approach to playing the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm waiting for all of the arguments of, there was no chance of me winning because they were running this force org, which means that they just had an easier time scoring points.
It will require figuring out nuances of your army and how to interact with the game and stuff. So I think the depth is there, but yeah, people will probably complain about the higher skill ceiling within the objective approach, but they might not necessarily feel at the time that it's a them issue, if I can say that.
Yeah, and it's going to be really interesting to see what this looks like at a tournament level when every single table has a different mission because the army's playing.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot more adapt and focus to what your opponent's trying to do. I feel like there's going to be a lot more to remember in this edition than in previous one.
Well, it seems like the objectives that you play based on your force dispo is not intrinsically linked to how the battlefield is set up. The battlefield's set up separately.
No.
So I think tournament organizers would have to, ahead of time, have people declare their force dispo and have it all sort of lined up. And maybe they focus people around each of a balanced approach to force dispos, who goes into what.
Oh yeah, fair. That's definitely something that could happen. Yeah, it's just gonna be really interesting to see how people handle it. I'm kind of excited to see the nuances of the setup because it's gonna be a little wild, a little different.
I'm super excited.
Yeah.
And their mission sequence even has an optional step to add twists, which we've seen a little bit of in Crusader and 500 Worlds. So, twists. Have a little twist.
Love me a twist.
And did you see their tidbit about how secondaries or tactical objectives have changed?
No.
Oh, you draw 2 objective cards every turn and keep hold of the ones you haven't scored yet.
Oh. You don't lose the point.
So if you draw a turn 1, feels bad, but your opponent has gotten perfect draw, like area denial or something like that, it doesn't matter because you can just score bulk later.
Interesting.
I think that's really good. Zach wasn't too hot on it.
I like that. I really like that.
I think it makes so much more sense from a balance perspective. Like everyone can do all the things.
It'll be interesting to see when we get to like CP generation, how that's going to function then. Because a large part of tactical objectives is, you're discarding to gain that extra CP to keep the game flowing. So it's like, if I'm not scoring points, at least I'm getting CP.
They are doing away with stratagem stacking though, so maybe CP plays. It's like CP and strats might play less of a role going forward.
It'll be I'm pretty keen for this edition.
I'm curious to see how they'll deliver the rules. They've been pretty decent in the last year or two by putting a lot of the major rules and detachments and stuff online in PDFs. I'm hoping that they put out the new edition stuff as some sort of PDF well in advance with all the things, not just some of the things. Like if you need to buy a mission deck to be able to understand your force dispo, that would suck. But if they put like all the detachments, all the force dispo, all the core rules online, if not before, then at the launch date, that would be really neat.
But then how do they sell a core rule book, Josh?
Everyone wants the physical stuff, mate.
I don't.
I do. I do.
I'm like, I don't want to flick through pages.
Well, as I said at the very start, the new Armageddon box is going to have a soft cover rule, small version.
Yeah, and that's fair. That makes sense, like having like a mini version of the rules. But like, you know what they're like. They want to sell their books.
I can't imagine that's going to be the widely stocked option.
No, it wasn't in any of the previous times, so...
I love my Leviathan book, but it cracked just from using it to play games, so...
And I think that was pretty common at that point.
Yeah.
Hopefully their printing has got better.
I think overall, like the printing was like fine enough, but using it as a gaming book where it lays flat for hours, you're flicking pages constantly.
Yeah.
Oh, my other cat wants to leave. Hold up. Cats, am I right?
I wouldn't know. Birds, am I right?
Yeah. my cats just claw at the door. Sometimes I'm editing back, like, what's that sound? And it's just like a...
It's the cat. Yeah, to wrap up this, new rules look very good. We're very excited to see what's coming. And there is some very positive changes, and I haven't seen a lot of negative changes so far, which is fantastic. It feels like GW have really listened to the community and what we liked and disliked about 10th edition, and they're really trying to push this game into an even better state. It's my 2 cents.
Yeah, and I think through that better state as well, everyone gets a relatively even slice of the pie. You can have as many models as you bloody want to, but you got to have the rules to back it up, and it looks like they're going that way, which makes me super keen. It's probably a little bit of why I don't care so much for playing 10th right now, is because I've seen the other side. I've seen what's over the river.
Yeah, I think that's what's fueling the blues, you know? We're like, but there's so much good to come.
We'll have to squeeze in another game or two this month, I think, just for old time's sake.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Before you disappear out of the country again.
Oops. Tinfoil hat, though.
Uh-oh.
Who's the new faction of the edition?
Here it is.
It's got to be at least one. There always is.
There's got to be more than one.
It's only one last time. My money's on Dark Mech. 2, actually. Imperial Agents came back.
No, there wasn't. Exactly. We had Imperial Agents, and I was like, no, there was definitely a second one. Kinda. Feels bad, right?
Kill team with 40k rules bound in a book.
I mean, if we're talking coming back, maybe we get demons back as a codex. It won't happen. But I'm curious to see how they handle it.
I left it out of my end of edition Darker Knight thing, but I had this note: Chaos Demons range overhaul of an AOS tie-in campaign versus the Grey Knights. I'm like, that's too ambitious, Joshua.
That is very ambitious. Dark Mech is definitely a good bet. I would, if I was a betting man, I'd probably put money on that.
Otherwise, Catachan and maybe Exodites as the runner-ups.
I feel like they don't love Eldari at the moment.
What else is there from a faction perspective?
But if I was
in lore that we know about,
something new,
the only one I can think of is Lost and Damned get their own Imperial Agents version. All the Chaos Cultist stuff get their own little thing.
Yeah, but that feels more like a sub-faction. If we're talking like a new army, I think Exodites could be a possibility, but I believe Dark Mech is a better bet. The real question is, who goes to Index?
Grey Knights.
With the indexification of Deathwatch and Demons, is that something that we're going to see more of for some of the less...
Possibly.
...selling models? Like, do we see Grey Knights and Drukhari move into the realm of Index?
Maybe.
Because they're some of the less played factions and obviously don't have a lot of support, and then basically turning around saying, well, they're not getting new models anymore.
I could see them smushing things together. You could smush Imperial Knights with AdMech. You could smush Lost and Damned if you expanded them just into CSM. You could smush Chaos Demons into CSM if you felt like it. You could smush Eldari.
Which might be what they end up doing.
Eldari Codex already has Harlequins and the Inari datasheets. Just chuck Drukhari in there too. Corsairs will have to go somewhere in print as well. Maybe just have like these sort of mega faction umbrella codices. So there's less codices overall, but they're chunkier.
That would be nice. Then they could focus on that. Frees up some room for new armies if suddenly Eldari is just one entire codex. Maybe, as I said, compliant and non-compliant Space Marines is 2 codexes instead of 5.
Imagine they actually do the thing we've been complaining about with demons. They just slice them off into quarters and chuck them into their respective monocult, and then CSM gets Be'lakor and a Shadow Legion equivalent of datasheets.
The question is, what if they did the same for Chaos? What if we got Undivided and all of the cult factions all 4 cult factions rolled into one codex?
Well, Chaos makes a lot of sense. Same with Eldari. If you're point buying detachments, makes a lot of sense. You have, let's go with Chaos Marines.
Yeah.
You have a 1 or 2 detachment point Iron Warrior Siege Assault, or a 1 point Alpha Legion Saboteur Carter, or you have a 1 or 2 detachment point Wordbearer Possession Force, you know?
But what if they went deeper? What if you could have a 2-point detachment of World Eaters running alongside a point detachment of Nurgling, like Nurgle?
Ooh.
Death Guard.
Johnny, are you suggesting...
Like, if the cult factions are rolled into one.
Are you suggesting Chaos Gruel? Red-green?
Chaos Soup.
Red-green, Chaos Gruel?
But, and then you add in a couple of restrictions. Be like, oh yeah, but if you've got corn stuff, obviously you can't have Zinchian stuff with it because they don't like psychers.
Or maybe if they
just be like that, and then you've got
they have a restriction. If they're not engaged, they have to fight each other. They can't each other.
It'd be interesting to see, Chaos Soup be like, oh yeah, I've got my large force of Black Legion CSM, but I've also got a small detachment of Thousand Sons that are here to help because they're all aligned to the same purpose right now.
Man, you would froth.
You'd sell models because now people are like, oh, but you mean I can have these guys with my other guys?
Exactly. Yep, absolutely. There's one singular thought that's been in my mind for the last couple of minutes.
What?
Orcs will just get a 3-point detachment called Big War. Big War.
That'll be a 4-point detachment.
Apocalypse only, or Bigger War. The War. Aye. All right.
It wouldn't be the War, it'd be Da War.
The War. Man. All right. Back to anything else, or are we going beyond hobby?
We can go to beyond hobby, but I do just want to say...
Beyond hobby?
With all of this detachment focus, let us have alliances outside of the same faction detached together. Let me have my Chaos detachment My Chaos Soup. Let me add my Chaos Knights to a CSM.
You know, if they keep Gene Stealer Cult's final day with Tyranids, that could be my new army of the edition if I pick one, because I already have Leviathan Nids.
I was going to say a Brain Bug Nids with like GSC backup.
Yeah, that's my kind of jam.
That'd be pretty
Synaptic Cultist.
Yeah, that would be really bloody cool.
That's my shtick.
And there's so much flavor here, like so many possibilities. Yeah, let's do it.
Go to bloody Games Workshop's office. Like, we're here to write your rules. Our community said we should.
Applies for job, creates one rule, quits.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear. Yeah, obviously we're very excited. I feel like someone's injected some Fabius bile drugs into my body, and I'm like, yes, let's do it.
Oh.
This whole past hour and a half has made me more excited, Jonny.
It sure has. Getting to talk about it just fuels the imagination.
Feels the wah.
But cool. While we've been not playing 40k as much and not painting and building, what have we been doing, Josh? Spending money.
What's this deck box, Jonny? What's this binder, Jonny? What's this playmat, Jonny?
You want to see my deck?
What's this Card Kingdom basket, Jonny?
Oh, Card Kingdom basket.
No, that's like a maybe later in my weekend phenomena.
You placing an order, are you? Oh.
What have we been doing, Jonny? This is your shtick. Go ahead.
Oh, mate. How did I get dragged full tilt back into Magic the Gathering?
What do you mean, how did you? Your girlfriend fell in love with Law and Eclipse, bought some stuff. I was like, sure, I should have a commander deck for if I end up playing it. I buy a Lorwyn commander deck. Our friend Drew, shout out to a Drew, is like, oh, we're going to play Magic? Cool, let's do it. After a couple of long weekends of some commanders, all of us are like, yeah, we got like 3 or 4 decks that we'll comprise. Yeah, we've been buying some packs. Yeah, we'll architect some things together. I haven't done a meme where I'm adding a booster pack to my meal prep lunchbox every day. What do you mean?
Yeah, we've just gone full tilt into it, right?
I have 5 Strixhaven boosters sitting on my desk right now, unopened, because that's actually my protein bars for the week.
Meal prep.
Or my dopamine bars, actually.
Yeah, right. Damn, eh? I definitely went 6-0 on the weekend.
Oh.
Had a night of Commander and didn't lose a single game because you guys just
What was my text chat with
can't keep up.
Zach? Let's see. He's like, how was Magic at 11 o'clock in the night?
You rage quit the same game.
And I said, oh man, we are playing. I say, oh man, we are playing the roguelike plane shifting stratagems kind of game mode. And I swear this game has gone for like 2.5 hours already. He's like, hell yeah, have a good time. I said, not really. I was so grumpy I rage quit twice.
I feel like it was more than twice, but okay.
No, it was twice. I said to Drew as we were leaving, I said, man, I can handle being swung out because, games like an hour or whatever, you just reset and go again. I can handle silly modifier game mode, but 3 hours of both of those things continuously after a long day, I was not a happy camper.
No, you sure weren't.
But I apologize for my attitude. Everyone was like, oh.
Nah, these things happen.
You were saying what I was feeling. I'm like, okay.
We were all pretty done by that point.
But besides that capsule...
By the 5th board wipe.
Yeah, speak dirty to me. Farewell.
Oh,
but besides that one game on the weekend that...
Well, no, it was still a lot of fun.
Tilted us all just about. Gush it, Jonny. What's been overwhelmingly going through your body? What have you been thinking? What have you been feeling with going back into this old vice of yours?
Oh, mate. So excited. I'm just having an absolute blast. And my second girlfriend is getting very upset with me.
Your second girlfriend, who's totally a guy in a happy marriage?
But I'm just like, right now, I just need my fix. I've got deep in the drugs.
You completely went past what I just said.
I definitely heard exactly what you said.
It's just nice that there's 4 of us to play.
It really is. And that they're all excited to play.
Yeah.
Like, no offense, but by the end of this edition, quite a few of our players were getting pretty
tapped out,
fed up. with the whole thing, like the constant losses, the trying to remember all these rules, and it's like Magic. You sit down, you pretend like you know what you're doing, and then you let John beat you.
You know, the more we play, the more we understand you, right?
That's fine. Next week, I'm going to bring in completely unopened precon that is considered to be one of the worst precons ever, and I'm still going to kick all your ass.
Yeah. I said to a friend, you can't say we have to gang up on John, because then John is going to be Alucard from Hellsing Ultimate, letting the restriction unlock, and then it's just hell on earth for us all.
Yeah, I'll just play Breya. Oh, you stopped that infinite combo? Here's another.
You've got years of experience and completely cracked combo wombos and an immense understanding of the game and interactions and tempo and interaction.
Yeah, at one point I was considering playing this game competitively, and that's a really bad thing in my brain.
Johnny, you
It meant that I got very good at learning what to do.
you shower and apply deodorant, right?
Most days.
Okay. You're doing better than most of the tournament circuit.
Oh, just not in the lead up to the tournament, you give it a good week of brewing.
My stench will distract them, yes.
It's all just another tactic, right?
So give like the minute or two pitch about Magic, how it plays, and then what you play within it.
Magic the Gathering is one of the most complex and, I guess, biggest card games in the world. If you haven't heard of it, are you really alive? It's been around since the early 90s, so there's like 10,000 different cards to choose from. There's different formats you can play. We primarily play the Commander EDH format, which is 100 card singleton format, meaning you can only have one copy of each card that isn't a basic land. You also get like a leading figure in your deck that sits to the side that you can basically have as an extra card slot in your hand at all times that you can play. And you play this like normally 4-player multiplayer game where you try and win the game by reducing your opponent's life totals to 0, or in Josh's case, get to enough charge counters on a nuke to win the game.
That's the only way I'll win.
Yeah. But because there's so much variety in cards and there's so many creatures that can be your leader, there's so many options and ways to play that you can really have multiple decks and they're all very individual and do their own thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of different play styles.
To put it in perspective, you say that everyone has like 3 or 4 decks, but I have 15.
Well, not everyone is you, John.
But a lot of them are very old. Like a lot of them are multiple years old. I was out of the hobby for 7 years because I have a 7-year-old.
Strixhaven.
Math checks out, right? It's almost like I had to wait till he was old enough before I could go back to hobbying, right?
Your son's also really into Pokemon cards, so I think the chip in the walls have been going on for a couple of years, seeing cards go through your house again.
Yeah, but no, so we've obviously been getting pretty deep into that at the moment, having a good time while it lasts, and honestly, like, I'm having a blast. It's good fun.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I played for maybe half a year towards the end of your previous life with the game. I had a just fun little standard deck that was pretty cute, a relatively aggressive token artifact deck that actually won a surprising amount of times for how unmodified it actually was. But I've always loved card games, to be honest. I grew up with Duel Masters, which apparently is still popular in Japan somehow, and as well Yu-Gi-Oh! Much like Warhammer, I would just pour over all the new releases, gawk at all the new decks and play sets and stuff in the shop. Occasionally, the school I went to kind of went through seasons. There was like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Season, a handball season, a marble season, and then a Beyblade season for some reason. And yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Nice.
Sort of came around here and there. And yeah, I just never really had, except for that time in school, anyone to really play with. So I was just sort of imagining the fun that could be had with such a thing, right? And now I'm adult. I got adult money. I got friends who are also interested in it. And so it's scratching that itch.
Sure is.
But in a way that Yu-Gi-Oh! Could never, because it actually sucks. And so yeah, that's been really fun. I play a couple of decks. One of my favorite way to play is a spaceship command from a recent sci-fi fantasy set where my commander's in a literal spaceship. that interacts with the game by castling up with a bunch of defensive abilities that allow me to basically play satisfactory in the background while everyone fights each other. And if I'm allowed to play satisfactory for too long, I build up a nuclear bomb factory and kill the board and win the game. But if I play the other way, which is token generation and building up my power and creatures, at least half the board gets absolutely shit scared, wipes me off, and then they're like, oh, John was the threat the whole time. I'm like, yeah, you think.
I wasn't the threat. I was the victor.
The more I play with you guys, the more I'm figuring everyone out. Our friend Drew's a boy who cried wolf. Johnny, you're a person that deflects whether or not you're actually a threat. I'm just there like, don't worry about my counters. I can't duplicate it 3 times next turn and win. I'm not even fighting. Don't worry.
But then does that.
Never does that. And then your missus acts like she doesn't know what she's doing and then swings everyone out with like 50 trampling damage. So everyone's
damn straight.
Everyone's kind of got their
she gruels us
little
out.
politicking poker-ish tells, and it's kind of funny to see how that goes. Sometimes I completely tune out of the politicking to the point where I don't even hear that I'm being asked to do a thing like remove a card because of an effect, because I've just switched off listening to all the bullshit wafting out of people's mouths. We should gang up on this guy. No, we got to deal with this.
But the bullshit is half the fun.
I'm too busy in the factory, John. My other favorite way to play is what's commonly referred to as a villains deck. My first pre-con, so pre-made deck, is a recent deck that relies on a sort of poisoning mechanic. People think, oh, that's cute, until they start losing all their creatures to poison, and all my enchantments are like, you can't gain life. You can't do this. And everyone's like, sorry, you evil little bog witch. Die.
There's only one thing in that deck I'm scared of, and it is kill on sight, and that is that stupid Carnifex demon. In that deck, yeah.
Yeah, well, here's what it is. My next project might be a merfolk deck, because there's something kind of funny about blue-green merfolks becoming like miniature gods with all their token powers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
But
I guess I can't build that deck then.
It's mine. I have dibs.
All right, I will accept your dibsing.
And then at the end of the year, I'll do dinosaurs in space.
Dinosaurs in space.
Yeah, they're doing a dinosaur pre-made deck. And I'll just add a bunch of my spaceships to it, and off we go. We're good fun.
But no, that's what we've been doing.
Sort of versions of Magic as well. We did the pre-release where you'll turn up to an event and everyone gets the same amount of packs and the same amount of power level of cards, and you have to sort of draft a deck and then play a few rounds of that. And those kind of things are fun too. Everyone's got a sort of similar playing field, not holding on to a deck from yesteryear that has a retail value of nearly $2,000.
Hey. It's not my fault the cards got more expensive.
No, but it is part of it. It's part of the game. Yeah, it's been fun. It's scratching an itch.
Turns out if you play rich people deck, you get rich people wins.
I have a $50 card in one of my decks, and not you, because you can't say anything. But the other people are like, oh, just played a $50 card and win. Still doesn't win.
Because you're not aggressive enough. You're making all these tokens and you're not swinging with them.
Yeah, because if you swing before you're ready, you'll be open. You've taught me this.
So get vigilance.
True. All right, off to Card Kingdom. Vigilant token artifact. Yeah, so that's been scratching the itch. Something new to sink your teeth into. Easy enough to pick up and put down. You also, I can just stuff my decks into a tote bag and have it with me all day long.
Yeah, it's so much easier.
Do you know how bloody weird it is to walk into a physical rehab clinic with a box of Warhammer miniatures and be like, what's that? I'm like, oh, it's for my board game night tonight.
Just tell them the truth.
I'm a big fucking nerd.
Introduce them to the God Emperor.
A couple of my clients ask what I do for fun, and after a while I actually tell them, and they're like, oh, my teenagers are into that.
Oh, that feels bad.
Sure does. Oh, man. But yeah, that's a little magic spiel. Anything you want to add to that, or you want to have a brief chit-chat about other things we've been doing, like games? Any cool books?
Yeah, let's move on to the next thing. That's enough Magic the Gathering.
I'm surprised you would say such a thing.
But games, what have you been playing, Josh?
Oh, I've been I've really weaned off Space Marine 2 since we last talked about it. There's not as much content in there as you would think. And Marvel Rivals, a few of us have gone back into it, but I just can't be bothered some days with that one.
Same.
What I have been playing is I've gone into my sort of bi-yearly Warframe phase.
Oh, no.
I'm sick of trying to hype this one up to my immediate friends, so I'm going to hype it up here.
I tried, all right? I tried.
You did, and then your second girlfriend distracted you with a bunch of other things.
It's not hard to distract me with shinies.
Warframe, I came into Warframe in like 2016, young, when I was funnily enough, but unemployed, trying to look for my first job after school. Yes, that's how old I am. And there's something about it that just sort of clicked. There's a lot of this sort of like AAA games that feel very formulaic and scripted almost, to the point where you can kind of expect the beats, expect the gameplay. Almost feels a little bit hollow, right? And then sometimes there are just games that don't hold your hand, do a shit job of explaining things, and have systems upon systems that kind of like magic will take you a while to figure out. And that's, for me, Warframe. There's so many elements to Warframe that there's always something to do. Every part of it mostly feels good to do. It is MMO-y in the sense that there's a lot of grinding, and that's usually what turns people off. And it's usually when I get through the content I missed out on, I hit that grind point, I'm like, nah, I'm okay. But every couple of years, I log back in for a couple of months, couple of hours a week, maybe like a day or two every fortnight, and just smash it out. Grind out some new Warframes, grind out the quests, grind out the faction rep, and just enjoy the sort of power fantasy of it all. Every Warframe you do is pretty cool. Every Warframe you play is pretty unique. As they've released more and more, they get a little bit more niche. They recently had a Warframe called Foley, that is basically a painting Warframe that paints ink blots onto people, which kills them, and then they go into the sky as balloons, which you can pop to cause AoE damage. Like, how bloody random.
What the fuck?
Yeah, right? They just keep adding things. There's like a David Bowie glam rock guy called Temple who has a guitar axe. There's quite literally a wizard who floats around with a magic book and summons quite literally MTG token artifacts to overguard people. There's a chick called Araxia who's just a spider. She can throw out poison darts that turn enemies into spiderlings, and her ultimate is that she sprouts legs from her back and walks around the battlefield like a War of the Worlds turret. There's just so many little avenues. There's so many little gameplay elements. There's a spaceship section. There's a mech area. There's open worlds. There is raid bosses. And it's just, for a couple of months, every couple of years, I just have a blast. But it's a gamer's game, you know? It's not casual. It's not pick it up for a couple of hours, have a good time, and see it later. Everyone I've gotten to try it out picks up as like, what is this? What in the rocket science am I looking at right now?
It doesn't feel very new player friendly to me.
It's not, and that's a very common criticism, and to the point where when I first started, before a lot of the extra stuff was in the game, like I played before the open world stuff was a thing, I think I wasted maybe dozens, if not 100+ hours of my playtime just grinding out alerts, not realizing what I could be doing to progress properly. But every update they do tend to bring one of the older Warframe kits back into sort of a modern power comparison. They've been adding quests, they've been tuning up quests, they've been really overhauling the new player experience, and a lot more direction is baked into the sort of galactic map of where to go, what to do. So it is getting there, but it's a free game. And it's the only free game I've ever spent money on because it doesn't feel like a free game. And we don't want to rely on the whales to keep it funded and alive, do we?
I mean, the whales fund a lot of games.
True. And it's been going for like 13 bloody years or something. So yeah, I don't know. But I mean, they have their own bloody convention, TennoCon, that happens yearly with an in-universe digital version as well. Like it's cooked. The amount of stuff that's just tucked away into this little niche corner of the gaming space is silly. The player count's stable. It's a wild phenomena. And then my other game that I dipped my toe into is Marathon, and that's a game you play if you hate yourself.
Yeah.
It's Bungie's new extraction shooter. I wanted to try something new and diff. Historically, I don't mind first-person shooters, but I'm not good at them. Marathon gives you a little bit more of that wiggle room being an extraction shooter where you don't always have to fight. You can sort of sit it out, skulk about. But boy howdy, the skill ceiling is immense. And this has less hand-holding than Warframe. It tells you fucking nothing. There's like a 5-minute tutorial on how to play, and then it's like, here you go. Here's factions. Here's the map. No, there's no boss except for the PvE environments, but we're not going to tell you that if you start shooting, the whole bloody map can hear the fact that you're shooting. There's a quote that's going through the Marathon community that you don't own gear. It's just your turn to use it.
Oh, that feels bad.
I've been lobbied with people in a trio, and I'm just being skull dragged by these randoms through the 3 to 4 maps the game has, doing the random ass side quests and raid bosses that I didn't even know were in the maps, getting all this purple and gold rarity stuff, feeling like an absolute god with my now purple shields and my LMG, which has got every accessory on the planet, goes to another bloody map. And we survive for like half an hour against 3 or 4 enemy teams. We're picking each other up. I'm playing recon, so I'm pinging the map for life scans and knowing where people are. And then just there's a character that you can play called the Rook, which is no missions allowed, none of your actual gear. You play quite literally a bot that spawns randomly approximately halfway through an existing match, and you're allowed to just go do what you want. You can loot, you can hunt, you can do whatever. We get to the bloody fucking end of like a 2-hour raid streak, and a Rook's just like, hey, knife.
Nice.
And then I don't have the kit. I mean, there's always like a vault of kit, but it's like every now and then, it's like the best game. You feel locked in, you feel good, you're hitting your stride, you're in your prime, but then you just hit that losing streak. You're like, I'm just going to go do something else now. But audio-visual treat.
Me with Marvel Rivals.
Yeah. Audio-visual treat. The art style is fantastic. The soundtrack is fantastic. I can't get enough of the art style. That's why I keep playing it. It's why I went to play it in the first place. It's got this really nice sort of cyberpunky aesthetic that's kind of future sci-fi, kind of capitalist. It's really neat, and it's by Bungie. And for whatever controversy Bungie's got going on, I will say that their shooting is tight. The Marathon game is such a treat to actually play. Everything you do is responsive. Gunplay feels great. Movement tech feels great. I just suck at it like a deer in headlights. I know what to do. I got the gear, and as soon as a fight breaks out, I'm like a deer on the road, like, and then I'm dead. And then it's like, all right, I'm going back to my comfort food game now. Bye. Warframe, log in. Login reward, day 456. Yeah.
Damn.
But that's me for gaming. How about you, Johnny?
I've been playing small games while I wait for another game, and that's kind of been my whole life at the moment, is played a little bit of Marvel Rivals. At the moment, I'm playing this cute little game that just hit its 1.0, which is the Spell Brigade, which is like a little multiplayer roguelite wave survival game where you are wizards building up your spells, waiting for the release of a game that I am going to get skull dragged into, being Subnautica 2.
Oh, brother.
Which is going to be an absolute chaos-fueled nightmare for me because...
You have ocean phobia.
1, it's multiplayer, and 2, I have thalassophobia massively. And I tried the first Satisfactory.
Subnautica.
Was having the time of my life in the shallows. I was like, oh, this is so cute. And then I went over the edge of an abyss, looked down and Alt F forward and never went back.
Uh,
I was like, that's enough of any of that for me. Thank you very much.
why? Why do it again?
Because this time it's multiplayer.
Okay.
Because he wants me to. That's the thing. If you want me to play anything, there's just someone else you have to convince.
Well,
If you want me to play Warframe, you know who you have to convince.
I should be enough for you, John.
You know,
That's true. Hey,
we live on different schedules.
he's not here right now, but Zach installed and started Warframe.
And then played it once and then never played it again?
It was like 2 days ago.
Because that seems to be what happens with people who you get to play, right? Wasn't it the same with
Yeah.
a couple of other
Yeah.
people where you managed to convince them to play? And they're like,
No, it's
this fucking sucks.
no one's ever said it sucks.
And then
It's just
moved on?
not for me.
No, it's more like-
it's not for me. They say to me.
fuck am I doing? That's the polite way of
It's
saying
the
this
same
fucking
thing
sucks.
whenever you ask someone like, "Oh, what sort of like music do you listen to?" And they're like, "Oh, I listen to like everything." And you then ask, "Oh, heavy metal?" Nah, not that one. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you lied to me.
But yeah, he said he installed Warframe on the same day that Steam notified me that I had received a gift from Zach, and it was Slay the Spire 2. So
That's hilarious. He's like, I tried it. Now come play a real game.
it was like, I'll play yours if you play mine. And we did. We actually, I think
Feel that.
my last day off, I played Slay the Spire 2 for 6 hours in a row.
Well, again, if you want me to play it, you know who to convince.
We should be enough for you, John.
The problem is, I know who takes up more of my time, okay? If you weren't jumping on every night after I've gone to bed, it'd be a different story, right?
It's almost like I build my physical therapy schedule around the fact that most of the population work normal jobs like you, and people need to see me after work.
Right? No, it's almost like you sit there watching, waiting for me to jump off, and then you jump on.
Dude, by the time you're going to bed, I'm having dinner.
You're just avoiding me. Dude, it was like 10 o'clock last night and you hadn't had dinner.
That's because I decided to make it and then go to the gym. Because I missed some nights this week because of magic and editing the pod.
I was like, what the hell is this boy going to the gym at like 11 o'clock at night for?
Dude, it was like me and the 5 other people with their headphones in. I'm like, wow, look at us, the Saturday night loners. It's crazy.
It's fucking wild. Most people are out getting drunk and you guys are sitting there at the gym.
What do you want me to do? Bring my Guinness Stout cans to the gym?
Get going.
Next time, I'll get Zach to bring his hard solos.
Just make sure you mix some
brother.
pre-workout into your hard solo.
I need the bathroom real quick after that.
Don't tempt him. That might get him to the gym.
Anything else that's been hitting you up, Johnny? Any cool films, TV, books?
I've just finished like book 7 of Mark of the Fool.
You were up to like 6 last time we did this.
No, I definitely wasn't. I've gone through like 4 of them in the last month. I keep having to buy credits.
Jeez. Jesus.
I have like an hour left of the book club
Crazy.
that I started halfway through this week.
Stacy is ruined, by the way.
So no, Stacy is ruined. I'm
That's
enjoying
good.
it.
That makes one of us.
In terms of movies, there's been a few movies that I've wanted to see, but every time I go to see if it's in the cinemas, it's already left, and I'm like, okay, cool,
All right,
whatever.
neat. Cool.
So not really watched too many movies lately. Plus, trying to move house, it's been an absolute nightmare of a time. So haven't really had too much time to do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just cracking on,
Yeah. I haven't really watched any other movies besides the 2 we spoke of like 2 hours ago. I have rewatched Predator Badlands, and that's such a ride over time. It's so good, so fun. And I've started watching the new season of Daredevil now that all the episodes are out. And despite all of the waiting around, even the bloody official Marvel channels are spoiling their episodes within like a day because their viewership's low, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, like clips of character deaths and big finale reveals are just like clips they're posting within a day or 2. Yeah, apparently not many people are watching,
That's wild.
despite it apparently being really good. But that's par for the course, isn't it? If it's not something controversial that you can hate on. Why bother?
That's still crazy that's spoiled their own stuff that quickly.
Oh, it's insane. I know every major plot beat of the show, mainly from the channel itself.
Like, I don't need to watch it. They've already told me what happened.
But at the same time, it's like if episodes are 30 to 40 minutes, what else is in the episode? Maybe I should watch it anyway. But I love Daredevil. It's my favorite Marvel property, so that'll be fun.
Neat.
And then book-wise, I read Madeline Miller's Circe again. I love that book. It's fantastic chef's kiss, lovely writing, lovely world building. Even though it's just Greek myth, like it's just handled really well. It feels like high art in comparison to the book I'm reading now, which is To Indulge the Women in My Life, Fourth Wing. Ugh. You know what, though? Fourth Wing is actually, and if my girlfriend's actually listening to the episode, haha, spoiler, I was going to surprise you with that. But it's kind of fun in a bingeable, like CW, Pretty Little Liars, Teen Wolf, Arrow, like that kind of just like, oh, this show sucks. What happens next? kind of vibe. But boy, howdy.
That's some crazy stuff to say.
Who wrote this? One of the worst written books I've read, despite it being fun. Every character's action is arcing of a brow, flicking the hair over the shoulder. Oh, but they're also so hot, they say after someone just died next to them. You're like, huh? But
This seems wild. Why are you even bothering?
because I'm a good boyfriend who indulges listening to all my girlfriend's hobbies, just like she does with me and mine. Not me sitting there like, look at my binder, babe. I've arranged this by colors. This is the red side. This is the white side. And then I'll be like, yeah, so this, for the podcast, we're doing 500 worlds. It's about Titus. Yeah.
She's like, I don't know what that is, but okay.
She, whenever I say to my girlfriend, oh, we're doing a new book club. I've just got it. I'm started. I'm enjoying it. She's like, is it one of the Harry Horace novels? Like, sure, babe. Sure it is.
Wild.
I'm getting my culture in, John, in many kind of masochistic ways, it seems. Magic the Gathering, Against You, Marathon, Fourth Wing. Am I okay? I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? Well, all right, I better get ready to go to Mother's Day stuff, I suppose, hey?
Oh, yeah. That's a whole thing. Well, it's been lovely talking to you.
Thank you. Was there anything that you wanted to say?
No, that's it. We're good. I feel like that's enough.
That's a lot of stuff, eh?
They've heard us rambling on for a while now. I'm sure that gives them a good update of what's happening, and we'll come back to this in a couple of months' time, which will probably be a little more wild because by then it'll be June and we'll have a new release. And oh my god,
July probably every 2 months. July. Next month's June, John. Next month is 11th edition. It's not even 2 months away.
holy!
It might be a month, depending on when they release it, rules-wise. So make sure you get your beauty sleep, John, because we'll be talking all about it.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to our technically a hobbying podcast that's totally Warhammer pilled. Hope you've been enjoying this bi-monthly ramble about all the other things we've been enjoying with a little sprinkling of discussion. If you've been enjoying this, please feel free to hop on the Discord, link in the description of the episode, and let us know, because it's nice to have positive reinforcement. Read Starseer's Ruin so that when our book club episode goes out, you'll be switched on to that, or you just do what Zach does and wait for us to review it. Yeah.
And never read the book.
I think he was turned off when the last book he picked up was Requiem Infernal. He's like, nah.
Hey, but that was a fun one.
Just kidding. He's read Infinite Divine. He fights with monsters. Yeah, so
Good to hear. Good books.
yeah, read our monthly-ish book club pick, Age of Sigmar, Starseer's Ruin, and share this with your mate. Thanks, bye.
Peace out.